Push the button.
Okay.
Oh, we're already better. What is going on, guys? It's your boy Kev here, and I'm here with just Sheldon. What's going
Mm.
on, Sheldon?
Great episode. You know what? Not a lot happened, Kev, but it was actually one of my favorite episodes of the season so far.
It
I
was a lot of
loved it.
fun. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. So, me and Sheldon are here to recap tonight's Survivor 42 episode. Unfortunately, Kylie couldn't
43.
join us for Survivor
43.
43 episode. My bad.
Drop the 4, add the 3, add
Add
a
the
2.
three. Yes.
You
Uh,
you don't have to be good at math, or maybe you do. Who knows?
I don't even. You need to be able to run the numbers. That's kind of all you got to be able to do.
Okay.
And tonight, we had Sammy running the numbers and trying to figure things out. We had a lot of things
Yeah.
going on because, though it was not a lot of action, it was a lot of social action, which is always a lot of fun and something that I love to see.
Yeah.
Make sure you like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Sheldon, you ready to just dive right in?
Yeah, let's get into it because this episode had, as you said, a lot of social stuff, but there was we have Rupert basically back on the island. There was this old school stuff that was happening, and I was just like, have people not watched this game? Like, what the heck is going on?
I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't think he has either.
But it's just starting off though. We get back from Tribal, and Dwight's just got blindsided.
Yeah.
And Jeanine is just like, man, she's down. I felt for her, man. I hope if there's another time that someone could come back, there's like a second chances, she's definitely getting my vote because this is just a bad luck for her right here. Her alliance member, Dwight, gone, holding her idol because they did a little swapperoo, afraid that James was going to play his knowledge as power.
A few days after her ride or die, Ellie goes home.
Yes.
This is back-to-back hell. And the thing on her face. She hasn't had a good season, sadly.
If she told me that she never wants to hear the word Survivor again, I'd say, listen, more power to you. It was a rough ride for you. Not a lot of people get a rough ride like this, and you did. Oh, and even at this point, whenever she were to go out, she's going to be either in the inn or at jury. So she's got to stick around. That's the worst part.
She's the first member of the jury, right?
Yeah. We'll get to that. Wow. But we have her here, and Sammy goes up to her and explains why he was a part of the vote. Because turns out it was Coco working with Jesse and Cody was the plan. And then somehow Sammy jumped on last minute. And that was the votes to get out Dwight.
Yeah. I have to say, you have to give it to Sammy because, and I don't know if, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you don't have to give it to Sammy, but either this tribe can't keep their mouths shut, which, there's a lot of evidence to suggest that's true, or Sammy has truly created real relationships that he seems to feel really comfortable talking to people, asking them questions, asking them about potential moves. This is, he talks about being this 19-year-old, and being young and trying to win. This is not 19-year-old gameplay. He is playing the game. He was on the right side of the vote, even though he probably shouldn't have been 3 times in a row. Sammy is playing the shit out of this game, and it's not like he's not strong. It's not like he's not social. It's not like he's not smart. It's obvious he's all of those things, and nobody is touching him. Nobody's thinking about Sammy.
It's true. And the kids, like you said, he's playing like he's 22, like he told the people he was.
Which, by the way, that's the most ridiculous thing. I don't know. Listen, maybe I'm an old man. To me, not the big difference between 19 and 22. I don't know.
It's a huge difference. It's a huge difference for perception's sake because 19 means teenager.
Yeah, but
that's why.
But hold on. I would argue that there's an advantage to come in and saying you're 19 as
By
opposed to 22.
proof has shown that it's not. You look at Will Wall, you look at even Christian Yerger, you get they have these teenagers out there, and people don't like playing with the teenagers based on historical precedent.
Why?
So
I would want to take one of these people under my arms and be their besties.
No, I don't disagree with you. I'm saying based on historical precedent.
Yeah.
Everything's happened before says that teenagers
but why,
can't play
I
the game.
guess. Like,
because you know what it is? I'll tell you exactly why. It's $1 million. And a lot of times they feel like the youth don't need the money. Same reason like Jimmy Johnson when he played, he wouldn't have won because they feel like he's rich. When you look at it at the end of the day on who you're going to give the money to, they don't want to give it to a teenager. They think he's just going to blow it.
So what's the difference between a 19 and 22? A 22 has a college debt? Like
college debt, college debt, college degree, out of school, establishing himself in life, all these quote unquote things. And I use quote unquote because it's not necessarily true.
No.
But it's how people rationalize it to themselves, which makes him less of a target because he's now like in there with everyone else in terms of their mid-20s.
So like their rationale makes perfect sense. But I would actually leverage that to my benefit and bring him to the end, because hey, if you're not gonna award it to him, maybe you'll award it to me.
But Sheldon, would you really? And I say that because when it comes down to voting, if you feel like it might be you, any of them, how easy it is to throw the teenager in front of the bus before you think it might be you.
100%.
And that's like, I think usually how Will Wall, Mike Yerger, these guys have gone far, even being teenagers, but they went out first, second vote, third vote into the merge because it was like hey, I think it might be me tonight. Let me give you this. Remember this teenager? Remember, we got a kid here, y'all.
Is there also like a danger of if you are 19 and you are, and I will make the statement that I believe Sammy's actually playing a really good game, if you are 19 and you are playing that good of a game, it actually starts to paint a bigger target on you because it's like, holy crap, he's playing this game and he's younger than most of my kids. Holy crap.
Yeah. It's
okay. I'm sold. I bought it,
and that's why I love that he came in. And Sammy looks so much older, and he's pretty built. So him saying I'm 22, I love the fact that he didn't go too old with the age.
Yeah,
he just went a few years older. But 22 says I've been drinking for a year and I'm chill. That's how it says to me that you're not this new wet behind the ears. Just became an adult. It means that you've been around doing stuff for a while.
Yeah.
And then so we get that, but we get Sammy talking about, hey man, I jumped on board with these guys. I don't really know where I'm at in this group, but I voted with them. He's talking to Jeanine, and Janine's just like wrecked because her idol's gone. She has no safety. Dwight kept it in his crotch and took it home with them.
Which, by the way, is not a secure place. I do not understand why any unless you're wrapping up around it, it's not a secure place. It's gonna fall out.
It's gonna fall out. But it was gonna be safe there for him and his right there next to his coin purse. Sure. We also find out that Owen once again left out the vote.
Yeah.
Why are they not playing with my guy Owen, man?
I don't know. I don't know. I assume it's just circumstance. I assume it's just that he is from that original Yellow tribe, that I think Baka tribe, and he's just the enemy, just like Jeanine is the enemy, just like all of these people are the enemy. And but I think I wonder if there's the difference between Owen and Sammy is that Sammy could bro it out. Sammy does have that masculine connection. I'm not saying Owen isn't masculine. That wouldn't be completely fair and wrong. But who is he connecting with? Well, he's connecting with James. He's connecting with Ryan. He's there is this bro factor that Sammy brings into it, and maybe he could far more easily connect with Coco and Cody and like maybe it's just easier for him than Owen is. And the truth is, like we got that really interesting scene about Owen, being a Korean immigrant adopted at I believe 4 months old, and we got this like really interesting story. And he probably is still not the most social person that will open up so quickly in front of a brand new group of people. Like they just merged a few days ago. Like it's not maybe that easy for him to make these relationships because of what happened to him when he was a kid, and it was hard for him to make relationships. So like I do wonder though if that will end up having to actually help him, because to me Owen is a guy that you spend more time with. He's like a fine wine. You like him more. You learn more.
He grows on you.
And I wonder if that's what we're about to. Like, I sense from the edit that he's not going anywhere. But I don't know.
I actually disagree, and we'll get into that a little bit later. But we get Owen really lamenting the fact that he was left out once again, just like Jeanine, and how he's a good sport. And he's trying to console Jeanine while she's like distraught because her idol's gone as well. Sammy can now confirm that Dwight took her idol home, so it spreads through the tribe like wildfire. Then we get a scene where James is talking to Jesse and is like, bruh, Dwight's idol that he was holding of Jeanine's is gone with him. And everybody laughs, and then Jesse's looking a little confused. But then we get a little bit of flashback, which I love. I love these when they show what happened. Turns out, Dwight was a little nervous going in a tribal and gave the idol to Jesse to hold.
Yeah.
So no one knows Jesse was holding the goods. And that's how you do one of those switches, right? That's how you make one of those moves. Sleight of hand right there.
So look, favorite scene of the episode, no doubt, because I didn't see it coming. I truly thought that idol left in his crotch. It did not leave in his crotch. It's now in Jesse's crotch, touching another idol,
which is also great because of the switcheroo, Cody gave Jesse his idol to hold, and Jesse's like, he hadn't asked for it back yet. So
I find like, look, this is an immense resume move for Jesse. However, how does this work with jury management? Because Jesse voted out Dwight, and he just gave you the idol. Like this will either be perceived as evil and I can't vote, or genius.
Dwight's not on the jury.
Holy shit! Okay, you're right. So it's win-win-win.
Yeah, Dwight's on that pre-jury trip. You know what I'm saying? So
is he like he's on the trip being like, damn, I trusted Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, good answer.
Jesse sent him to the bricks while holding that idol. Now Dawn, faithful Dawn, she's here in the chat. She says, why did Dwight give it to Jesse? And why did he not tell Jeanine? Him giving it to Jesse, I understand. He trusts him. But I'm with you, Dawn. Why didn't he tell Jeanine, hey, I'll have Jesse holding it? Because then she would know where to get it in case something went fishy.
Well, I think the answer to that is simply he was never with Jeanine. It was just they had common interest for that vote, so they were going to work together. And either he didn't think that he was going, or B, he thought even if I do go, I don't want it with Jeanine. I'd rather with my bestie Jesse, who's about to vote me out.
Even better though, what if his bestie Jesse, Jeanine knows, and she goes, "Hey, I heard Dwight gave you my idol," and then Jesse goes, "No, he talked about it, but he never gave it to me." That's the move to me. If you're Jesse, if that were to come up.
Well, look, I don't know, like maybe not, because the truth be told, like that just puts a big target on him, because Jeanine's gonna say, I think he's lying. No,
I don't think she does. I think she says, because she already thinks that Dwight took it. She knows she handed it to Dwight. She knows that part. And if Dwight told her that, hey, I gave it to Jesse, and then Jesse's like, nah, man, I never spoke to him. No one else caught them talking.
Yeah.
So he
Yeah.
said he talked about it, but he never handed it to me. We were never hidden enough for him to hand it to me.
Either way, look, I love this. There's, you know what? There's something going on with Jesse. There's like a
Yes.
game going on. I don't actually think we see it. Like, I don't fully understand his real relationships. I don't really understand how he's intermixing, but there's stuff happening, and I think it's going to be good stuff. I want more.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think Jesse is really starting to come on as a solid winner option. So I think that's very interesting. Next up, though, we get the next scene, and Owen wanting to change his fate in the game. Says, you know what, man, I'm trying to be on the bus. Who do I need to work with? What do I got to do?
Yeah.
At this point, I know, Sheldon, I know you hate this part, but we got like a nice touching story of his childhood and how he's adopted and all this good stuff.
I didn't mind that part. That was nice.
Oh,
that was nice. But it was one is enough. One is enough. Quick 2 minutes, move on. I don't want 6 hours. Let's all look at a leg. I don't want any of that. Enough. A nice, quick, cute picture of him as a kid. He was cute. Very nice family. Love it. But one is enough, right?
True. We also I was very happy this episode because we really had very minimal Gabler.
Yeah.
And this was one of the times we got Gabler. And they were talking about people being out on the vote. Gabler was left out the vote last time too, along with them. So Gabler not really knowing what's going on. You get him walking by. Nothing too much from Gabler. Real low-key Gabler episode. I loved it.
Yeah, but we do see I don't know if I'm fast forwarding. We do see an interesting scene where, Gabler goes out fishing with Ryan.
That's true. We'll get to that in a minute. Because I want to wait because we talked about like a 7 people voting together. Yeah. We kind of got a new alliance, or so we thought, or so we think, I guess. A new alliance is formed. The alliance was James, Jesse, Carla, Cassidy,
Jesse,
Cody, and Sammy, and
Carla,
Ryan. So we got this alliance of 7. So it's all of Coco that's left. Cody, who took their stuff, and Jesse coming together. And they talk about, how about the 7 of us run this down to 7? Which very rarely happens.
Never.
But it's definitely something that they consider. Do you think these guys could really run it down?
I think Ryan wanted to. I don't want to say that he's chill because he's not. He's so active. He's constantly on the go. But yeah, I think Ryan wanted to chill and do the 7. But I don't know. You cannot get to Survivor 43. And if you have watched even 1 or 2 seasons of the show, think that it is in any way possible that the 7 will get down to the end. Or even if you truly believe in the 7, the fact that you must create relationships on the other side so that if an idol is played, it's not you. So that if the power is used, it's folly. It's silly to sit and think, oh yeah, this is the 7. It won't happen. It's insane, Ryan.
It's interesting that they were hoping to even get there, but I for the Coco, I get it because they've been together this whole time. There's trust there, especially between Cassidy, Carla, and James.
Yeah,
there's real beliefs there, right? There's real strong bonds. Same thing when you get to Cody and Jesse. I can see how they could feel that's a good thing. And since they seem to feel like Owen, Noel, Gabler, and Jeanine are all expendable. Yeah. It makes sense for them to try to stick to the 7. But in reality, it's not going to really probably happen.
Well, no, because look, you don't have to be an idiot to look at the numbers and say that it's a 4-2-1 or it's a 4. It just doesn't make sense. There's no maybe another vote, which happened, maybe 2 votes, but you can't. It's just dumb. Sorry.
Well, with this kind of grouping, it makes Ryan feel extremely comfortable. So
So
comfortable enough that
comfortable.
he and Gabler go on out and go swimming and
That's
just go fish
fishing.
catching. Go catch some
Which,
fish
which,
for
by the
hours.
way, I have to say, if I like that for me would be a highlight of Survivor. I would love to go fishing because I don't go fishing. I don't know how to fish. Like, but to go try, maybe catch like a little bitty one or something. I don't know. It seems like fun. But what the hell are you guys doing? Go play the game too.
But this is how Ryan is playing the game. He wants to be a provider. That's his
This
goal.
isn't season one. It didn't work in season one either. I'm sorry.
And it's hard. And I feel for Ryan though here
Yeah.
because like they've given you less food, right? They don't have rice. So they're like, look, man, this is legitimately, if I am legitimately the provider because we have no rice,
Yeah.
maybe they will keep me around. And then for the rest of them, it's like, this is a 26-day sprint.
Yeah.
We cannot eat for 20 days. Like, this is not a big rush anymore.
Yeah, yeah. Look, I don't know. I don't know. There's no logic here to me. I'm sorry. Like, there's nothing to even say. Like, it's just silly. Like, every second you're in that water, especially since, yeah, he was out here with Gabler, but he also, we see later on, he goes out by himself for 3 hours, a few hours before tribal. Like, what? Come on. The idea that your name
before
won't
we
come
get to the
up.
tribal, the
Oh,
more swimming. Don says here Ryan has felt comfortable for most of the votes. That's why he's been in on like 2 of them, which is so true. He has not been in on most of the votes yet. For a man to feel this safe and this comfortable, it's pretty ridiculous. He was out when Gio went home.
yeah.
He was in when who went home first from their tribe? Oh,
It
the young lady.
was Gio and then the blonde girl. That was my pick.
Yeah,
Lindsay.
Lindsay. I thought so. Lindsay. He was in on the Lindsay vote. Thought he was controlling the vote. Not in on the Gio vote.
Yeah.
In on the Ellie vote. In on the Dwight vote.
I will give him one thing. He's got a ridiculous body. Like I don't know what he does. He obviously does a lot for it, but
Yeah,
like that's a body. That's a body.
he's physically fit and he's pretty athletic, which I definitely agree. It ends up being also a benefit for him. He's out there making things happen.
Well, look, one of we talked about the first few weeks about what a disadvantage this new version of Survivor is for women because athletics becomes so much more important. But the truth is that if you could get to Burge, athletics starts to be a threat unless you could win out. Like I don't know how much longer they're going to be keeping fit people. Like I don't think Ryan has that much time left if they're really looking at strength. Like I don't know. I wouldn't keep strong people.
It runs its course eventually. It runs its course eventually, but not here, not yet, because Ryan's out there fishing. Sammy says to himself, in this 7, we have 4 from Coco, 2 with Cody and Jesse. I'm by myself, man. I'm not really sure where I fit in this hierarchy. Maybe I need to pull together the island of the misfit toys, go back to my old tribe, get Jeanine, Owen, Gabler, pull in Noel, and maybe we could combat the 7, like this new 4. And so we get him talking about it, and everybody seems to be on board. They realize they're on the outs, so they're ready to make a move. What do you think of this cobbled together group?
Look, I think this is I think this is the absolute right move for Sammy. Not necessarily that he's actually going to follow through with it. I think keeping his options open, keeping the lines of communication open is key. The difficulty in moves like this is if people really know you're also doing it. Because even if he's truly in with the 7, them knowing that he's doing something else with the other side starts painting a big target on him. So, I love the move. I think he pulled it off. I think he didn't screw up here by any means. I think a worse player would screw this up.
I agree. I agree. And luckily, he's able to keep things pretty under wraps. The kid's good.
He's
The
really
kid's
good.
good. Kid's good. So we have that right there. It's planting seeds for later on this episode. Because now it's immunity time, baby.
Yes.
This challenge, Jeff wants everybody to hold up a pole with a platform and a ball on it. Every few minutes, you're going to have to grab another piece and add it to the bottom of the stand until your ball falls off.
Oop.
Seems easy enough. But before we do it, you know how Survivor loves this part now. Jeff says, I got this giant bag of rice that'll last everyone 4 days if they just eat as much as they can. It'll last even longer if you guys ration it. In order to get this bag, I need 5 people to sit out. Wow, Jeff. Jeffrey Matthew Probst. That's a tall order. 5 people. I did respect James. James goes, how about 4 people, Jeff? And I like how Jeff shut down those negotiations immediately. Nope, 5.
Which I didn't really understand. He always says he's willing to negotiate. Like why?
I think because they decided that 5 was going to be the number, at least this time. I think at 6, because Jeff says, listen, man, it's not a good negotiation, but I'm going to let y'all know that this offer will come back up, but the price is going to be higher.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, that's not negotiating. He's just basically, this is a flea market, and he's setting the price, and he's not budging.
Well, like, I think that in the future, I think he would have been more willing to negotiate down.
Yeah, no, I love this. And, like, truth be told, what happened was exactly what should have happened. The people who went off and said, yeah, we'll do it. Who are the people? It was Carla. It was Cassidy. It was
Jesse.
Jesse, yes.
It was James.
Yep.
And
one more. Noel? Yeah, Noel.
Yeah.
I think it was
Noel competed. Noel competed.
So it was one more.
It was because Cody played for sure.
Oh, it was Jeanine.
Jeanine, yes. These people set out.
And like, here's the thing. Like, I would have done the same thing. I would sit out 100%. Not because it makes me feel like a team player, but because, look, the truth is, I want Rice, and I'm not going to win it. Jeanine was not going to win this. Like, Carla was not going to win this challenge. It just wasn't going to happen. So, like, I just fundamentally think there's no other move unless you are really at the bottom and you want to spite them.
It wasn't Jeanine. It was Sammy, because Sam gives a speech about how, you're playing for each other and we're growing together and all this good stuff. Sammy's doing good moves here.
Yep.
He makes sure his speech was out there. Jesse, though, James looks over at Owen and says, Owen, you should sit out. You're good, bro.
You're good, bro. It's really bold.
How bold?
It was really bold. And I'm a little bit afraid for James after that comment, because that level of confidence might bite him in the ass.
I'm not afraid for James because he has the numbers. And they wanted to take out Owen anyway. So
numbers come, numbers go. The second Ryan knows that James was going to flip on him, and Carla was going to flip on him, and Cassidy was planning off, like numbers come, right. Numbers go. You got to be careful. Careful. I don't know. I don't know. And it was just such a clear tell of, hey, I'm going for you. You voted for me. I'm going. Like it was just silly. He didn't accomplish anything.
Right. It was an interesting decision, if you will, that he was going to go for the move. He ends up being the one to sit out, though.
Yeah.
And so we hit them 5 sitting out. I think it's a good move to sit out for the Rice. This season, you don't have too much food. Yeah. And it gives you guys a chance to eat. I think anytime the opportunity is there, you got to take it. I also am glad they don't really incentivize them with things like pizza and cookies too often anymore. It's like sustainable food.
Yeah. Well, The other thing, though, truly, is that from a person who's not strong perspective, for me, if I was Carla, I would want Owen to be up there competing. I would want Gabler to be up there competing. I want them to be in the spotlight. I don't want me to be in the spotlight. I want them to see, look at those strong boys. They keep on going to the top three, and here's another opportunity to highlight the fact that how strong they are and how we got to get rid of them.
Well, I agree. I think it's also important to make sure Ryan's out there to compete because you still need a horse in the race.
Why?
You need someone because if he's working your alliance, you want him out there. You want Cody out there because then they can still win for the alliance. And give you the choice of who to vote out.
Certainly, but I think even probably more important for Carla is not me first. These
right.
Winning.
Right. So you have the other strong boys in there too. But amongst yours, you want your strong guys in there, which is why I think they sit out pretty immediately, which is smart. As the competition wears on, eventually we get to a showdown between Cody and Owen. That's right. Surprisingly, Owen is in the final two showdown, and we get an Owen immunity win.
This was so telegraphed by the story of his youth. Obviously, he wasn't going home. Obviously, he was going to win. Obviously, it was emotional. It was a nice moment. But look, this is, again, as I said, Gabler keeps on going far. Ryan keeps on going far. Owen keeps on going far. Cody keeps on going. Danger alert.
Well, that's the thing. So earlier in the episode tonight, you had mentioned that you felt like Sammy or Owen was getting a lot of attention. Yeah. So he goes far in this game. I think that he got a lot of attention because he was winning tonight and that he'll be going home soon.
I hope not.
Right. I hope not as well. But that's why I said I don't feel like I felt like the setup was for tonight's episode for him. Because he's been pretty quiet throughout.
Well, remember there was that one episode where he was carrying this big jug back, this big pot, and half of it was like spilling out. Yeah. I was like, what are you gonna? You're not bringing anything back. Like, yeah, like I see that, but I don't know. Like, he seems like such a good guy and super smart too. Like, I don't know. I think that if anybody could figure something out, it would be him. And the truth is, it's not like he has zero relationship with Sammy. Like, maybe the two of them could actually do something. And they have Gabler. Like, I don't know. Something could still happen.
There's a good possibility. Well, Owen now has a necklace.
Yes.
And we go back to the beach. And now it's time to play the game. With Owen winning the necklace, Jeanine becomes the de facto vote. In everybody's mouth. Yeah. Ryan says, Jeanine, chill. I'm going to go hunt for fish.
But what was interesting for 3 hours. What was really interesting is that he said the name Jeanine in front of Gabler.
Yeah.
Like what? What? Why?
Because they're just so cavalier. They don't care.
No, not they. No, sorry, not they. Him.
Yeah.
I just strategically don't understand. And he even said, yeah, we're going to make this unanimous. Like, what game are you playing, man?
He said, I want a unanimous vote. It's like, what are you talking about? There's two obvious factions.
Why are you selling the information to Gabler? Like, you went fishing once with the man. It's like you're not best friends yet.
Well, Sheldon, those fishing bonds, they last forever.
I didn't know. I should try that.
But you're right. It was pretty ridiculous that he was just so cavalier about it. But then he just goes and fishes for like 3 hours after that.
And the water is beautiful. Yeah. Like, it's a gorgeous. Like, you can't. Like, I don't know. You can't really blame him except he's playing Survivor.
Yeah, but while he's out there, a little groundswell movement starts.
Yeah,
people start wondering, can we vote Ryan instead? I love the fact that Carla says, well, now that we got the rice, we don't need his little fish.
And I think Cassidy says, well, I hope he catches a lot of fish today.
Yeah.
We put him out.
I loved it. Because remember, Cass had a situation where he was coming for her.
Yeah.
So she's cool with him going. This is ideal for her.
Well, I don't know.
Wait, before we get into it, though, before we hear your point, I want to make sure I make this clear also.
Yeah.
This groundswell movement was led by Sammy.
Yeah.
Yep. It was led by Sammy. The kid was moving.
And the thing is, like, it says a lot about his place in the game when he could go to his alliance of 7 and tell them, I want one of our 7 out. And he's comfortable enough with them. Like, he understands the social bonds between every player. He understands that Ryan isn't everybody's number one or interest. Like it's just, like, it's such a testament to him. And anyways, my point that I was going to say was, I didn't understand. I never understood this move from a James Carla Cassidy perspective. It just fundamentally, why would they give up one of their numbers that is never leaving them? Like, why?
For Cassidy, Ryan was never been like loyal to her.
Okay.
So this makes sense because, but like how they're talking about Ryan's name, it's very easy for Ryan to be the one to bring up Cassidy's name.
So yeah, but like, that's not. I don't know. Like, Cassidy won't go ahead without the blessing of Carla and of James. Like, she doesn't have. Not to say she doesn't have agency in the game, but like, what's she gonna do?
True. But that is something that is considered by her, which makes total sense.
Well, look, the idea that it's considered, every single person should be considered every single round. That's no question about that. That's Survivor. Right, but like, it never made. Like, I don't actually understand Carla wanting to do it. I don't understand.
So
James
Carla was a little bit more interesting because she has Ryan in her pocket. Mm-hmm. But I think for her, it's the fact that I think she's a game player, so she wants to talk to people and strategize with them. And Ryan is a fisherman.
Yeah, but doesn't that make things easier for her? Like, that's one less person to think about. Yes, it's one less brain to give you ideas and thoughts. Yeah. But it's a solid vote. It's one less person to worry is going to turn on you. It's one extra person that you know is going to be feeding you. Like I don't know. I don't know. I don't understand. Outside of the fact that maybe there was a really, like, I don't want another girl to go home. Outside of the fact that maybe she wanted to give something to Cassidy for their relation, like that's the only thing. But I feel like I'm pulling straws. Like, I don't think I have a really good reason.
Well, I think the girl thing is a real thing.
Yeah,
the ladies thing is a thing. It was brought up by, I believe, Jeanine. Or no, it was brought up by Cassidy to Carla and James when she was talking about it.
Yes,
she was like, I don't want to. We could do another girl in a minute, but like, let's get one of these dudes.
Yeah. And what's interesting though is Cassidy even says, "Look, no women left because they're women." Like,
right.
And that's just. I think that's the truth. I could be wrong, but I think that's the truth. I don't think any of, like, the girls who left in the beginning were left because they weren't physically strong. Like, Ellie left because she was dangerous. I don't know. I don't feel like anybody left because they're women.
I'm not really sure if, like, nobody left because they were women. The things
maybe Justine, as I
like the things you attributed to them, like, right, it's the strength and the prowess. NECA was bad, but the rest of them
she was good, but she was bad.
The rest of them were definitely holding their own in the challenges.
Yeah, I think Justine may be the one that stands out for me. But, like, she didn't leave, I don't think, because she was a woman. I think she left because she could have been a downstream threat.
True, but it's like whatever reason makes them, quote unquote, more dangerous than the others is what makes this a hard sell.
Yeah. Anyways, I still don't understand. I particularly don't understand James at all.
How do you feel about, though, them wanting to put the votes on Ryan versus Jeanine?
Well, them being Sammy, genius move. Them being Coco, don't get it at all. Them being Jesse and Cody, Well, we saw their reaction. Cody said no, no, and Jesse kind of was apathetic. He's
Yeah.
got two idols in his pants. So I don't know. Like, what's the difference? I think that I actually think that and Cody and Jesse are in a really interesting position, maybe one of the best positions in the game. And similarly to Sam, like they kind of are in the middle here. Like they could still flip and flop, and they've got room to maneuver.
Yeah.
Coco is not going to separate. Like it would be silly for them to separate at this point, unless something really bad happens. Like that, and honestly, that is going to be a downfall. And truth be told, maybe playing into the fact that we being Carla, James, and Cassidy are okay with Ryan to go is actually a smart move for the long term, because at some point somebody's going to have to go from Coco, and they'd rather it be Ryan
first. Gotta be Ryan first. They're cool with that. I thought it was interesting, first off, watching Sammy like try to lead this thing, and then being able to watch Jeanine get on board and try to like help convince people that Ryan was the vote this time. And Ryan is nowhere to be seen. He's fishing for hours, so they're able to talk freely about whether to vote him or not. One thing that I've noticed this season is that there is very much bro vibes.
Yeah.
At all times, and it's really led by Cody.
Led? I don't know about led. Like, well, but it's also like there's a lot of bros. There's only 3 girls left. Like, there's just a lot more men here, right? So I don't know. What do you expect?
Well, the reason I say led by Cody is because it kind of starts back on his last beach. He links up with Jesse and is like, "Hey, man, we can work with Dwight for a little bit, but like not long term. Let's work with," and if you notice most of his conversations, he's like, let's bro down.
Yeah.
And it seems to be a conscious decision. And we're sitting here looking at it like an all male alliance, but it's never like highlighted or talked about.
But hold on. It's like, so where does Carla fit in this? Where does Cassidy fit?
Let me tell you where. As we're talking about the vote, it switches to Ryan.
Yeah.
When James talks to Cody's insistent that it has to be Jeanine. James then goes back and says, I'm really feeling like we should stick with the Jeanine vote.
Okay, but hold on. Like you're asserting that the reason he did that is because he wants a guy around. But
no. That's not what I'm starting. That's not what I'm starting at all. What I'm saying is that the reason he did that is because he's the one calling the shots, but he seems to be calling in his trusted group of guy advisors to make the decisions. The girls find out about it after the fact.
But hold on. But hold on. They James went up to him, not Cody went up to James. Like I don't know. Like from what I took, and I kind of agree with this, is between Ryan and Jeanine, who's the dangerous one? Jeanine is. Ryan's not going to win the game. So like the question is, do I get rid of somebody that might work with me if I have a good relationship and won't win the game, or Jeanine, who will put my name down whenever it's possible because all she can do is try to survive another day. So like I don't know. Like I'm not disagreeing with the fact that there's a bro vibe. There is. Like there's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes left. It's just a fact. It's just what it is. And I don't know. That's just what it is. But I don't know if I don't know. I don't think I see it exactly as you.
Okay, maybe. I mean that's fair. That's fair. I think it's it's fine. I mean, well, we also have to say Cody is the one that put the hit on Dwight as well.
Correct.
So, but see, Cody only seems to be talking to. There's not a lot of girls left, right? But there's girls in his alliance. He thought he worked for Noelle earlier too, before. But he seems the only one to talk to the dudes, which is that just might be his personality.
I don't know. Today I found he had a weird European accent. I don't know where that came from. I was like, what? Aren't you from like Iowa or something, or Hawaii or
Hawaii of Iowa?
Also, as an aside, you have to teach me what a runoff election is, but that's for a whole new podcast.
It's a different
It's
podcast.
a different podcast.
So after Cassidy, poor Cassidy, man, she hears from James, hey man, after thinking about it, we're gonna go ahead and stick with the vote of voting out Jeanine.
Yeah.
Cassidy's like, bruh, this dude's coming for me. Ryan's actively coming for me.
But he's not.
But he was.
He's
And
coming
remember,
for the fish. And unless the fish is named Cassidy, he's not going there.
Well, think about it though. Their merge was 5 days ago.
Yeah.
4 days ago.
Yeah, it's still recent in her memory.
Yeah. And so that was just recently. On top of that, she makes a very good point and says, bro, we're gonna get rid of another girl. There's so few of us as is. Like, why are we getting rid of another lady? I don't think that's why we're doing it, but like, we're getting rid of another lady. Come on.
Do you like Cassidy?
I think I do.
That's not a yes at all.
I like the two people in her 3-person alliance a lot more than her.
Yeah, there's something about her every time she comes on screen. There's a little bit of attitude that is kind of refreshing, because like everything in Survivor these days is so nicey. I'm like, yeah, finally, maybe a little villain. She's not actually a villain, but a little attitude.
Well, I love the fact that we have it now set up that either Ryan's going to go home or Jeanine.
Yeah. Can I just make one comment? Not before we get to tribal. Is it me, or is Carla like glowing? Like
Carla's
I don't
glowing.
like. Do you know? So look, I play orgs, online reality games, and something happens, and it's happened my 2-3 times that I won these games, where at about top 10, I know I'm gonna win. Like I know this, and I usually. Is Carla winning? Like is this
Toasted.
Like does she know she's winning? She's doing everything right. She's just like alive somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
She looks gorgeous every time. I'm no longer scared that she's gonna catch something on the septum ring. Like everything. I don't know. She's beautiful.
Carla's glowing. She's really gotten to her own. She's in control of the game.
Yeah.
She has a majority. It's an onion alliance. She has people protecting her and Cassidy and James. And as Don said here in the chat, Carla's getting a kick out of watching the others eat themselves at the moment. Eat themselves alive.
She has this like quiet confidence, but she's not quiet either. She is fully Carla out. She's not playing a role. Like
right.
I think this is Carla. But this is, I think, Carla like in her prime. And she's gonna win this game.
Yeah, and if she doesn't, she's a new fan favorite, truly, because they're showing her such a good light, and she's just crushing it. And I just love it. I just love it so much.
Every time, I really look forward to seeing her on screen. And the last few episodes, we haven't had so much of her, but like the moments, I don't know, maybe it's just the lighting, but there's just, I don't know. Some people, when they're in the right phase, doing the right thing, they're going in the right direction. I don't know. You believe in God, you don't believe in God. Holy crap! It's gonna I feel like it's gonna be amazing. And you know, like as Don says, mark my word, gentlemen, the throwdown of gladiators will be Carla and Jesse. And honestly, I wish that happens. That would be a great final 2, final 3. That would be fun to watch. 2 real competitors, great stories. Carla still wins, but it's going to be great to watch.
Now, I love this. Don says, mark my words, the throwdown of gladiators will be Carla versus Jesse. I love that. I just said that. I just love it. I just love it. I just love it. I just love it. Because do you know why? One of the reasons why I love it.
What?
I don't know. Have we ever had like a Hispanic American winner?
I don't know. I have no idea. Oh yeah, Sandra
Diaz-Swine. You're correct.
Sandra Diaz-Swine.
Yeah. So it's been a long time. This has been a long time.
Yeah.
So getting another one out there will be fantastic. So, like you were saying, like Don said right here, these gladiators going at it. That's what I'm looking for.
What's Parvati's background?
I think like Italian or something,
Oh, okay.
Greek, something like that. But Parvati Shallow.
Yeah.
So we get the tribal council. I'm cool. I'm like cool. We got two options. It's gonna be Jeanine. It's gonna be Ryan. Jeff asked him, Jeff questions. He's like, Gabler, something about relationships and stuff. And Gabler's like, oh man, subtle moves, Jeff. You gotta do what you gotta do. Borders, things get remade, and then they go to Carla. And how does the jury come into play? A lot of just like whatever answers. I don't really remember the questions Jeff asked because they were not really memorable to me. What did you think of Jeff's questions?
I don't know, but I have to say that I actually love this tribal because it was a pretty long tribal, and what really stood out to me about this tribal is I was actually thinking that Ryan's going.
I was too. I was hoping.
And the reason I thought that Ryan, you were hoping what a dick you are.
No. I'll tell you why. Because
why?
I don't want to see more Ruperts, man. I want less Ruperts.
But that body, anyways.
That's for you, Sheldon. That's not for me.
Okay, fine. You do you. So my point is that the way they were sort of setting it up was they were basically outwardly saying there was a plan A, there was a plan B. There was a plan A, there was a plan B. And I was sitting there watching Ryan's face, and part of me was like, does Ryan have any clue that there even was a plan B? Like, what is like I was sort of sitting there wondering, does he? And I think he maybe did end up knowing, and somebody told him that. But I was sitting there thinking, okay, you need to go play your shot in the dark. Like, if you don't know there's a plan B, say something now, please. Yeah.
Don says in the chat, is Jeff kind of annoying anyone else? He comes across as trying to steer them at tribal more the last couple of seasons. Yeah. He is. He's trying to get now. Okay, I want to say this real fast. I don't think Jeff Marcus Probst is trying to put them in any one way or another. I think he's always done this. But these game players are so much savvier now that they give him a good nothing answer to have him leave you alone. And for us, it makes it more and more boring because we're like, Jeff's trying to get these things out of them. They're not playing along because they probably shouldn't play along. So Jeff, stop asking these dumb questions.
Yeah. One of the things that I have sort of noticed over the last few seasons, it's not necessarily that he's steering them differently. I think he might be, or like we're just seeing more of it. But I think that's the latter is the case. I think Jeff is infusing himself into the game more than he ever has. I don't understand why. Like, I'm sorry, this isn't the Jeff show. He is the host. His job is to move us along from challenge to tribal, show us some truth, give us some. This should not be the Jeff show. Like, I'm sorry, nice guy, I'm sure. And I said this last week that I'm over Jeff. I'm really starting to get more and more over Jeff. I don't want to see so much of him. I want more people, less Jeff.
It's funny because like tribal councils, Jeff words are never memorable to me. I never remember the questions Jeff asked. I don't care about the questions Jeff asked because I know that Jeff is trying to do one thing. The players are trying to do another thing. So none of these answers matter. It's like the show Whose Line Is It Anyway? They get all these points and none of it matters at the end of the day.
None of it matters. None of it matters. Yeah, I don't know. It just sort of a little bit of a comment that I'm saying overall. We're seeing too much Jeff, too much of him making weird comments and making fun of them in challenges, too much of
making fun of
shit. It just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'd rather see more James and see more Carla than see more Jeff.
I'm good with it. But after this, we get to the vote. And I thought for sure they are going to turn on Ryan because this seems like the time to do it. No,
For whom?
For most of them.
Listen, not for the big four, right? So, like, to me, I think that what should have happened was everybody but the four made the switch. Like, I think fundamentally that's what happened. I think what's obvious that occurred is Cody just wasn't on board. So the second Cody was on board, Jesse wasn't on board. The second Jesse wasn't on board. Like they just lost the numbers. They couldn't actually do it. Look, can we get to the vote?
Yeah.
So it was
Jeanine ends up going home with a vote of 9-2.
Yeah.
With Jeanine voting Ryan and Cassidy voting Ryan.
This is what I don't understand.
Yeah.
What is Cassidy doing? What is Cassidy doing? It's not like she wasn't told the plan. Why is she making that enemy back again? Like maybe Ryan has calmed down. No, let's poke the bear. What is she doing?
I think this is one of the reasons. Okay, this is how I could parse it out for me. If Jeanine plays that idol, if she's lying and that idol's still back in her pocket, we all know she had one.
Yeah.
If Ryan's name's out there, we force a tie vote. People vote Ryan. Another thing, if Ryan asks what happened with the second vote, Gabler or Owen obviously did the second vote on Ryan.
Yeah. Do you think Carla knows?
Yeah.
And James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think only the two of them know.
Yeah. I was more surprised. I don't really understand the logic of when you know how the vote is going, that everybody just votes that way. I don't know why Owen didn't. Why did Owen just tag along? I don't get it. Like
I think because
with Jeanine for weeks,
he wants to be in the room where it happened. You know.
Yeah,
I think that's really what it is. Like, if you're on the outs, you're like, I'm just trying to be a part of it. I just want to be in the game, and it's not up to you to determine if that's your situation. If you can't make something happen, so you better just get aboard.
So next week, we see a preview where there's going to be 2 immunity idols won, and there's going to be 2 people going home.
Yeah.
What the hell is going to happen?
You think it's going to be separate tribals or one tribal?
I don't. They usually do on 2 immunities. They do one for the girls and one for the guys. I don't think that's going to happen because there's
no. They normally split them into 2 groups.
So I assume they're going to do 2 groups and maybe 2 tribals. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if it's going to be just a random draw and it's just going to be kind of like an unmerge.
Yeah, I think that's how it's going to be, like they've done in the past. Right here, Dawn says she thinks that Ryan and Owen are the only ones that don't really know what's going on in tribal. I think
Owen knows what's going on. I think Owen does know what's going on. I just think Owen is never on the right side of the numbers.
No. I think neither one of them know what's going on, and I think it's for different reasons. I think Owen doesn't know what's going on because he's being told one story, and this is another. I think Ryan doesn't know what's going on because he doesn't understand how this game works.
That's so sad. I don't want to be rude, but I think it's so true.
Yeah. I mean, it took Ozzy a few times to figure out how the game worked.
Yeah. But how do you go on Survivor and not watch Survivor? Like, how do you not binge 10 seasons?
It's because it's called being recruited.
I don't know.
Think of his story, right? Couldn't walk. He's supposed to not be able to walk, cerebral palsy.
Yeah.
Out here, man, for you to ogle at, Sheldon.
Yeah. But look, I'm not trying to be rude. I would have been fine without him on the season.
No, what I'm getting at is that since he has such a good story, they're like, he'll be perfect out there. So you recruit him, you talk to him, you get him on the show, right?
Yeah, but what does he add to the show? Like, I don't know. Like so what? We have a tear fest for for 5 minutes total for the full season. Like, I don't know what I'm getting.
I think you get a guy that feels like he's going to be an asset because He'll be able to provide. And he'll be able to be good in challenges, and maybe he'll learn the game along the way.
But what we ended up getting is a guy. I don't think he's going to win. I think there's like a 0.1% chance that this guy wins. If anything, I think he's kind of making. I don't know. Maybe this will come off rude, but I don't want like it feels like he might be making a little bit of a fool of himself because he's not playing Survivor, right? So like, he's got this great story, but like we're not watching him play Survivor. Like he's. I don't know. Like you don't bring a basketball player to a hockey game. Like. If can you imagine everybody else is on skates and you come in with running shoes, like that's what's going on here. Like the guy in running shoes is going to be made fun of.
Well, you're not really missing anything though with Ryan. It's not like with Ryan's being detrimental to the game. So I'm cool with him being there, but I get what you're coming from.
Like I'll be honest, I know you hate Gabler, but I much prefer watching Gabler than Ryan.
Okay, I can give you that.
Like Gabler at least is in some way playing the game, right?
I know that if I was out there on the beach and Ryan's like, "I'm gonna go fish for 3 hours," I'd be like, "See you later, brother. Yeah. Go ahead." Like that's 3 hours. He's not over here.
Yeah. Look, I don't disagree with you, but they obviously even Carla said that tonight. How like, aren't you coming to play strategy? Like, which I also thought was it's a weird comment. Like no, don't. Like if he's out there with 6 other people, I'm worried. But he's out there with a fish, with multiple fish, and he's bringing it back for me to eat. They're not starving.
He found 22 of them that day.
That's insane. I thought it was really funny. Maybe this is also another rude comment, but when Gabler showed how much weight he lost, I was like, "That's it." That's like an inch? Like what? Like what?
It's only been, that's the thing, Sheldon. It's only been like 2.5 weeks.
Like that's it? Honestly, part of the reason the only reason I would ever go on Survivor is the weight loss. And I would be really pissed if I voted out first because I got to leave with 30 pounds down minimum. 30 pounds down, 28 days, a pound a day, I would be very happy.
Have you ever thought about just doing the rice diet, like the Survivor diet at the house?
Yeah,
just eat a handful, scoop of rice every day.
There is no McDonald's drive-through in Fiji. Okay, okay, it doesn't exist.
True.
Well, actually, not on that island, at least.
Not there.
There might be
there's probably one where the people live. So, Sheldon, that's the episode. Who do you think's in the best position going forward?
Carla.
I think so too.
Carla is in the best position because she's in the majority alliance. Carla's in the best position because even if another group forms to try to attack that alliance, they're not going to attack Carla. Carla's in the best position because she has an idol in her pocket that nobody knows
about.
Like Carla is just fundamentally in the best position. Period.
Yeah.
Full stop.
Who do you think is in trouble next week and might be going home?
Ryan.
Okay.
Owen.
I think Owen's in real hot water.
I wonder at what point people do get a little bit annoyed at Cody. Like, I wonder when that happens, when they start saying, "Oh, Cody is the reason why we didn't get our way last week." Right. Oh, Cody was the one. And I think between Cody and Jesse, Cody's going first.
I agree.
So like I would not be surprised. But I remember there's 2 people going home. So depending on how those if there's some sort of a division, depending on how that turns out, we don't know what there's going to see. And just a quick check of the facts, there are 4 McDonald's in Fiji.
Sheldon, thank you for joining me tonight. I know we normally go on a Thursday, but we felt like going after the show tonight would have probably just been better. Now, before we go, Don said Cody has an idol. Don, Cody doesn't have an idol in his possession at the moment. Jesse has an idol in his possession.
And if Jesse doesn't give it back,
Cody's name comes up. He is looking at. Before his name comes up, he's looking at Jesse. You want to use that? I think I want to use the idol tonight. What idol?
Look, we didn't say this. We didn't talk about this. I think I would be paranoid as hell if I would give my idol to somebody because if I get back to the beach safe, I would be asking for that idol back right away.
The moment I get there.
Like it does say a lot about Cody's trust in Jesse, but we just saw what Jesse did to Dwight. Jesse might do the same to Cody.
And I think he will, so that way he has two idols. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody goes home soon with his idol in Jesse's pocket because he hasn't asked for it back. Because once they give it to you, you don't have to give it back.
And then, as Don said earlier on, the gladiators are out. Carla's idol versus Jesse's two idols versus the fish that Ryan catches. This is going to be quite the event.
I agree. Sheldon, where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me on Mind Your Own Business. Leave me alone. I'll be here every Thursday nights to talk about Survivor.
Perfect. You can find me at KG Fury in all like social media places. Thank you for joining us tonight. Don, in the chat, thank you as always. You're fantastic. Love having you here. We will be back next week to talk more about Survivor, break down next week's episode. Make sure you subscribe, and comment. Let us know what you're thinking about the episode. And good night. It's good. So good to see you. Good night, guys.
Good night. See you next Thursday. And Kylie will be back.
Yeah. Bye.